Okay, so we have this little monster here, no? So obviously we need to place a light. A light is as important as materials, and without light we're not having great results. I do recommend that you guys under standard use directional light. So the way to place that light is by clicking there. I always go Control Tab to the front view or the right view, so you see it in elevation, and you click 2 times. Once close to your object and underneath, and then the second time where you want the light to be. Okay, so that way it will look to your object. Okay, the next step, I Control Tab, go to the top view. I like to select the light and rotating it so it's not a perfect, orthogonal light. Okay, and now this is for each of the renders. I would recommend going to the top view and changing the shadows a little bit. This is giving you different shadows. Okay, Control Tab to the perspective again, and as you can see, because we are in right click rendered, it's giving us a little bit of how the shadows look. Okay, so you can already rotate that light slightly to make it more interesting to explain your project. Okay, now if you zoom out, or if you don't see the light, it's just go to the top view, select the light, and remember, if you go to properties, you have the properties of the objects, and if it's one of these objects, you see that it has the material mapping. If you select the light, it has lighting properties. Okay, now you can create you can change the intensity. If you render this, and again I have very low resolution, and you should change the output resolution to a bigger number before. You should be able to say now render, pressing the R. Now if you want to press the blue guy because you have some nostalgia in regards to the blue guy, it's the same thing. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if you click here or there. It should do your rendering in V-Ray in this case. Now as you can see, everything is black behind, and I will explain the reason why. And actually this is a great moment to start talking about Skylight, the environment. Okay, so as you can see, the concrete start looking very nice already, not the black obviously. So let's close that. Oh, environment, you have black because this is black, as simple as that. If you want to put what I recommend and actually request from everybody, that the light is given not only by your source of light but also by a skylight, you press the M under environment and options. You say text bitmap. You select our friend HDRI. Remember we talked about downloading that one, and it has a funny shape. No problem to say open. And for this particular case we have to change a couple things, so don't change the YouTube video to the next steps. Still have to do something here. You have to go down here and say environment, and here say mirrorable. You say preview, and it should look somehow like that. Open, and you're good to go. Now you have to do that a couple times. Okay, you're gonna say uncheck that and check these two and change the M for those two the same way. Bitmap, select the same one, scroll down, environment, mirrorable. Okay, M, bitmap, select, environment, mirrorable. Okay,
So we can click on reflection.
we're gonna have the skylight. That's gonna give light, and you'll see how it changes. And this is gonna be reflection and refraction. What you can do is check on the background and change this to white for now, so we see it white. But we don't change the M. If we place the M here, we will see the image there, which we don't want. I want the white background image. If you want to put an image, you go to Google, download a beautiful sky, and you place it in Photoshop after you have done the render, okay? Okay, another thing I haven't explained, if you go to options, imagine I have a very big output. I recommend testing with a small resolution, and then the last time that you're happy, you just go to the bigger resolution. Another thing you can do is go to a big resolution, and you see in the R that you can right click and say render in window. You can right click and render only a specific area. You see how it renders only this area? Now we haven't given material to the structure, so it's going to probably come default white or something. Okay, now you don't see it, but the concrete, the model, everything is obtaining color from that dome that is out there, okay? There's an invisible dome that is always bigger than your scene that contains that image that we have placed in the environment, okay? Here's another trick. You see that shadow there? It's sharp. That's the last step for lights. You can go select your light and change in the parameters of the light your radius. Let's say 0.1, and we have to change that to a bigger number like 40. I'm going to go to perspective and get closer, right click to make a little window and change that. Let's see how it looks. And as you can see, it takes long because the resolution is high, okay? Now watch how the shadow was here before. It was very sharp, no? Let's see how it comes now. Now if you want to put a structure that is white like this one, you're more than welcome. I'm going to put later on a metal. But for sure, the little pieces, they have to be glass and color, different beautiful colors. The only thing actually the kids are going to enjoy, like seeing this color, otherwise. So you see how it takes a little bit longer? That shadow that I changed, it has a gradient quality, a little bit of a softness to them, okay? So it's going to take very much a longer time to process, okay? But yet it's going to be quite powerful. Let's see how it looks. Now also depending on your graphic card and the power of your computer, it's going to be taking longer or shorter, okay? Now other things that could happen here is that imagine that you choose a light material, like light color material, and then you render is very bright, no? Well, you can go and do two things. Change the image from the material in Photoshop and make it darker, or go to the light selected and make the intensity of the light half, from 1 to 0.5. Let's see if it comes there. I think we're starting to see a little bit here. Now if you have a great computer, this should take like, you know, much faster. This should take a short time. Let's see. Basically what the little parameter that I changed in the light, the one that I say 0.1 and then I said 40, that's giving you the level of softness in the shadow. And the 40 is giving you the resolution of that softness, okay? So if you have a gradient quality, we're almost there, I think. As you can see, this looks quite good already. Well, not in the projector, but here it looks quite nice and soft. We need just a couple more so you see what's happening here. and you don't see it, but actually the concrete has that texture associated with it. There we go. You see how here the shadow is sharp? Line, 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 from shadow to light. From here, in this other option, when I change that parameter, we have shadow and light, but there's a transition, a little bit of a gradient quality of the shadow. It's definitely much more realistic, this shadow, than the other one. So again, to change that, we select the light. I normally go to the top view, select the light, and you change this parameter of shadow radius, and just leave it in 0.1 as the maximum and 0 as the minimum as it was, and then keep it up to 40. That's a good, very good resolution. Okay, good. So I think in terms of lighting, I recommend actually changing that shadow parameter. And again, if you want to change the intensity because everything is too bright, select the light and change that to 0.8 or 7, depending on what you are hoping to get. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there.